Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share the case study that I talked about in one of my videos where I was talking about, will it be here or here? I was talking about my first project as a business analyst and what the project was about and some of the challenges that I faced. I think I recorded that video a while ago. So one thing that I also find with doing YouTube is when I've uploaded video like 2 years ago, people still come to ask questions around that video, and because I don't exactly remember what I said, so I had to go back, watch the video and say, oh, okay, that's the question that they're asking, and then I had to respond. So you see how much work it takes to actually be a YouTuber, because I like to respond to everybody. I like to respond to everybody's questions. It's fun for me to do. I enjoy it, and because I know that is helping, right? But anyway, I digress. As usual, I digress. So people had asked in that video that I share the warehouse management system project as a case study on YouTube. So that's what I'm doing today, and I'm going to walk you through the process that we went through from the discovery phase of the project, creating a business case, conducting options analysis. These are the key things that I did as a business analyst on the project, right? So what is this project about? The organization wanted to improve or replace. They weren't sure at the time. They wanted to improve or replace their existing WMS, warehouse managing system, right? The system was outdated. Hey, I should have put my phone on silent. Sorry guys, sorry. I apologize. Yeah, so what was I saying? The organization wanted to improve or replace their existing warehouse management system. I'll call that WMS going forward, right? The system was outdated. It caused inefficiencies in the inventory management for the organization. And it also made daily operations challenging, right? The project took place in a waterfall environment, so everything was clearly defined upfront from discovery to implementation. If you want to know about waterfall projects, I think I have an existing video. Click to watch. All right. Right. So how did the project start? I try to remember clearly, right? But kind of sharing with you real life what to expect as a BA when I joined the organization. I didn't really know much about WMS. I'd never heard of WMS before. I didn't know about warehouse processing, I didn't know about how it all flowed from maybe when an order is placed, who are people placing the order, how it flows through which department and all that stuff, how they manage complaints. There are so many angles to this, and it's so interesting. But anyway, so that's the case study, right? The organization wanted to either replace or update or improve the system, right? Because the system is like the central for making the inventory or the deliveries possible. If we don't have a warehouse and we don't manage it properly, we are going to have issues with postages, complaints, right? And inventory management, right? Everything links when you think about retail, right? It all links, and it starts from, it's like a chicken and egg thing. It's obviously starts from the organization having all the products that they want to sell, but they're not able to sell the product if the customer doesn't place the order. So from the customer perspective, it starts from the customer placing the order, and then from the organization perspective, it starts from inventory. We need to have all these things in stock. Anyway, so at the discovery phase, this is where my role started as a business analyst. I had to conduct stakeholder interviews, process analysis, understand all the system's pain points, right? I had to identify key issues such as poor inventory tracking, manual processes, system compatibility problems, and I had to document all these challenges because it's discovery. In discovery, we want to make justification for the reason for the project. Why are we spending money on this project? We want to make sure we are first doing our initial analysis of what are all the problems that exist, and are we able to solve all of them? If we're not, which ones can we solve? After highlighting which ones we can solve, how much is it going to cost? So is it worth it? So you have to document all these challenges so that you can outline the real business needs and start to gather your initial requirements. Make sense? So that's what I did in discovery phase. So let me just give you some examples. I mentioned that I had to conduct stakeholder interviews and process analysis. When conducting these stakeholder interviews and process analysis, I'm not doing requirements gathering. I'm doing these to understand what the problems are, right? In discovery phase, you're trying to understand where are we now and what are the problems that we are experiencing, so that it will guide the project on how we can solve those problems. Are you following me? So thinking back, as a BA, one of the key tools that we use is stakeholder mapping, right? I first had to understand who are the key stakeholders. The key stakeholders include, because it's a non-profit, right? So it's not exactly selling. We're not exactly selling. It's providing products for volunteers to be able to source funds for the organization by selling these products right, as a charity through donations, right? So what will happen is that they had, what do I call them now? Let's just call them volunteers that have to register on the platform, right? The volunteers have to register on the platform that they would like to raise funds for the company. So for instance, I did something some time ago for, is it breast cancer? I think it was breast cancer. I've done a few. I did one for NSPCC as well, where I did a skydiving by raising money. I did skydiving. Can you believe it? I'm trying not to go out of focus for today. But I like to give examples. So for instance, I had to, when doing this volunteering work that I did, I had to register on the platform and then select all the products that I wanted. I selected the shirt that I would wear, and then I ordered the buckets for collecting the donations, and then I ordered some other things that I can sell to people that support the cause. I think it was dementia. Must have been dementia awareness or something like that, because I lost my grandma to dementia, so it means a lot to me to support the cause. But anyway, so that was the process. I first try to understand the process at high level, right? Why do we need the warehouse? We are a charity organization. Why do we need the warehouse? Who are the people that need all these products that we have in the warehouse? And what is the process of ordering? So I took the perspective of the customer, right? First, understanding the customer journey. This customer is our volunteer. Our volunteer sign up to the platform, add all their details, right? And then through signing up, they're able to then log into the front end website. It's kind of like a retail website where you buy your clothes and stuff. It's literally set up like that, but the volunteers don't pay anything, right? We send them these things for free so that they can then, right, get the donations. I hope that makes sense. So they set up their account, and then they're able to order all these various products from the organization, wait a period of time to receive those products in time for the period where they're doing the charity donation and raising funds, right? So you see from the customer perspective how that works. And then from the organization perspective, or let's say from the warehouse perspective, they need to make sure that everything that is on the website, we actually have it in stock in the warehouse, so that when people make orders, we are then able to pick and pack the orders, pack them whether in boxes. We have all the details of the volunteers, and then we post it depending on how many days, right? So this is literally the process. I'm speaking from my head. I haven't exactly written it down, but I do have some guide on it, and I'm just trying to remember. So that's the process. I try to understand that process, and in that step of understanding the process, I try to understand who are the key stakeholders. We'll have the warehouse manager, we'll have the warehouse staff, who are the ones that will pick and pack the products. They will check, use your brain to imagine it. Use your brain to imagine it. So you have the staff members in the warehouse who will then check, how many orders do we have today? Who is going to pack the first 10 orders, right? Let's say they have 100 orders in one day from different volunteers, and each of those orders we have so many products, hundreds of products. So they're allocated. How are they allocated on the system? Business analysis. I love it, because when I started as a business analyst, when I first started to understand the process, it's like, it's straightforward now. Like, why are we spending so much time in going into details? It starts from A to Z. What are we looking for? What's A plus B equals to C, And then I start to uncover that, there are so many other things, right? Such as, in the beginning, I thought, the warehouse, we need to have all these things. Somebody needs to pick and pack. But how do you actually allocate those staff to start picking all the products from the shelves, and then packaging it? How do you manage the time? How do you ensure that the work flows correctly? So amazing. I love business analysis. But anyway, from that perspective, then thinking of, I digress. I just want you guys to understand, this project. It's going to be a long video. But anyway, coming back, right? So the key stakeholder, who is the warehouse manager, you need to have somebody like in charge, and then the staff. There are different types of staff. Maybe the admin that will make sure that things are printed. Somebody needs to make sure that the addresses, the right labels are printed. Somebody needs to make sure that there are staff allocated to pick and pack the products, right? Somebody needs to make sure that they are working within the system to make sure each of the staff member has work to do for the day. Somebody needs to make sure that for inventory management, whenever we have things ordered and brought into the warehouse, who is going to tidy things up? Who's going to put things in the right shelves, so that when the pickers and the packers are ready to pick the products to post, they know where to go. Right? Amazing, very nice. But this is what I uncovered from all my discussions with the various stakeholders, right? Who is doing what? Who are the key people that this project will impact, right? So that's from the warehouse perspective. Then from the front end perspective, there was I don't really remember clearly, but there was the people that handled the website information, the website designs. It was very manual. I found out that it was really manual because the warehouse management system wasn't it was a one-way link between I think it was, let's just assume it was between the warehouse, between the website to the warehouse. Yeah, actually that's what it is. I'm not assuming. There was a one-way link from the warehouse from the website to the warehouse management system, WMS, but there wasn't a link from the WMS to the website. So somebody will manually have to update the inventory, send an email to the website admin so that they can update the information available on the website. Do you know what I mean? So what I mean is, on the website, let's say we have 10 bandanas in stock. We have 10 bandanas in stock, but the WMS doesn't update the website where it shows bandanas, and then customers are able to order 20 bandanas, right? And And then when they order 20 bandanas, put it in their basket, it tells them that they will receive 20 bandanas, whereas we only have 10 in the WMS. So WMS hasn't updated the website to say, oh, there's only 10 left, so make sure people are not able to order more than 10. So you see where one of the problem lies on the process. If it was a two-way interaction, it would run smoothly. So that was one of the issues uncovered. And as a result, that will cause complaints from the volunteers. I've been waiting for my product. When is it going to arrive? Another issue is that the warehouse staff will then have to quickly, they see that, oh, somebody has ordered 20. They're supposed to receive it in 3 days' time, right? But they won't, because we only have 10. So what we have to do on the warehouse is place an order for 50 bandanas to arrive. And that will probably take 4 days to arrive, meaning that this person order of 20 bandanas will be late. It won't arrive in 3 days. So you can see how it can just get very interesting. It can cause chaos. I love it. I love it. So that we can then start to find ways to justify my job as a business analyst. Why am I getting so excited? But yeah, you see how all the problems that we can uncover from this. So as a business analyst, you have to document all these problems, highlight it in your business case, because in discovery, we are trying to justify the reason why we need to solve these problems in our business case. So I'll outline the real business needs, what the business needs. The business needs to work right. Otherwise, we won't get all the donations that we can get for the year in comparison to last year. I don't want to get too excited and talk too much, but this is what we do in discovery phase, okay? I hope that helps. Now, the next stage is the business case development, creating the business case. The primary goal here as a business analyst was to determine whether we should upgrade the current system or we should completely replace it, right? Now, as much as we've documented all the problems and the challenges that we're experiencing on this project, we also need to consider resourcing. Do we have money to replace it? If we don't have money, can we improve it? And do we also have money to improve it, right? That's what our business case is trying to show, right? So that the primary goal of your business case is to determine whether you should, for our project, whether we should upgrade it or completely replace it. And what did I do here? I outlined all the potential benefits of each option. Option 1, replace the system. Option 2, improve the system. This is how much it will cost, right? And each option, by outlining the potential benefits of each of the option, it could also include things as reducing your operational costs, improving your inventory accuracy, and better reporting capabilities. But it will stem from the problems that I have uncovered at discovery stage. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If you'd like to see an example of a business case, I could create one and do another video to walk through the business case detail. It will probably be another part of this video. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the description section and I'll create a business case around this particular project, right? Please let me know. So the third thing is options analysis, right? As a BA, another thing that I did, right? After presenting the business case, all the information and details on the business case, we then have to conduct an options analysis, because we've done an analysis of, we have to do an analysis of what it will take for us to improve the system through the challenges and issues that have been uncovered, right? And then our second option, which was replacing the system, right? We also need to do all the analysis on that. So I had to do options analysis to explore all the different solutions. We have 3 key options, right? Number 1, upgrading the current system, the existing system. Number 2, replacing it with a new off-the-shelf product, something that you just buy, some system that you just buy that already exists. Or number 3, we custom build our own warehouse management system, our own new solution that is able to link both ways. So I forgot to mention, one of the problems is that our current WMS is not able to link both ways. It only link one way. So because of that, we then figured out that, we can't actually upgrade the current system because the provider or the supplier of that system is not able to connect for various reasons 2 ways because of the other systems that interact, right? So what I had to do as a BA is to weigh each of these options against various criteria, such as I mentioned, the cost, the implementation time, the long-term sustainability, and the actual possibility of it happening, right? So number 1 seemed like it was already outside. They weren't able to upgrade the existing system. And if they were able to do it, there are other options that the supplier was able to look at to upgrade the existing system, but it will cost us a lot of money. It will take a lot of time, a lot of implementation time, and we don't know about the long-term sustainability of the products, right? Number 2 option, replacing it with a new off-the-shelf product, right? What I also had to do with that was do research on the various suppliers that can provide us with off-the-shelf products to meet our requirement, to solve our issues, right? So within the business case, the options analysis need to go into that, right? These 3 options, and then suggesting how much all these things will cost, how much time it would take, and whether what's long-term sustainability are available for these options. So again, for number 2, I had to really do thorough research on the various suppliers that are able to come and replace this our system with off-the-shelf, with what they provide. And as a result of that, we had to create an RFP document, a request for proposal, which is a document that you send out to suppliers to justify that they are able to meet your requirements, right? If you'd like to see one as well, I can try to create one in another video relating to this project also, this case study, right? So there'll be different proposal documents sent off to the various suppliers to then send us their list of things out of all these key requirements that we have. Which ones can you provide for us? How many people will you need to be able to provide this when the project starts, right? Remember, this is all still discovery. Right? We haven't started the project. We're just trying to determine how much work and when and how the whole problems can be solved. So interesting. I love it. So that document will have requirements, various expectations that we want the suppliers to provide for us, right? So I think I did so much research on different people that can bring their off-the-shelf products. And then what I did was call them to see. I called them to understand first if maybe their system is able to link with certain other back-end systems, which again, I don't want to mention because I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for sharing this, I don't want to mention any names and all that. But yeah, so we did that, and what happened was the suppliers will come back to us with their response. Out of all my research, there was top 3. So it was just these top 3 that came to the organization to do a demo for us of their off-the-shelf product and talk about all the functions, all the nice things and all that. So for us as an organization, we need to be careful not to be sold a dream, but each of them will have to respond to say how much it will cost approximately, how long it would take them to do the deliverable, what they need from us, all those various things. So I then invited, once I had booked the time, I invited all the key stakeholders from our organization with their organization. Then they came in to do the demos, and then based on the demo, business analysts, you're taking notes, and then once they've done all the demos, the impacted stakeholders need to come together and then decide which one, right? So as a business analyst, that number 2 option, I'm presenting another analysis documentation to the stakeholders to say, okay, this is all that we found out, and I will then give a recommendation. Based on my recommendation, I think that we should go with option 2, for instance, because they're able to, because we are a non-profit organization, this is within the budget, and also they are able to implement it within this time frame, and it seems that the system will have a long-term sustainability, right? Make sure it meets those criteria that you have highlighted for your future project. So going a little bit more into the RFP, the request for proposal, right? Once we have narrowed down those options, I drafted the request for proposal, and this involves detailing the system requirements, the functional specifications, and vendor selection criteria, right? It allowed us in the team, as well as the stakeholders, to evaluate the potential vendors based on their ability to meet the technical and business needs of the organization, right? So that's the RFP. How long is this video? Not too bad. I think I've done well. Not too bad. So that's it. That's what we did before the project actually now started. And how the project will start is once we've made all the decisions and we've chosen our supplier. The third option that I mentioned, custom build, it wasn't an option for us because of the time frame, not having the right resources, and just the cost. It would cost a lot of money. So those 2, number 1 and 3, weren't in consideration, but number 2 was let's replace the system, right? By using a new off-the-shelf product. So once we've now done that, it's then time for all the stakeholders involved, the organization and the supplier, to then talk about how we're going to work going forward, whether we're working through waterfall methodology, whether we're working through agile, what are the various meetings we need, what are the various information that the organization need to provide for the supplier, and then I, as the business analyst, remained that gap, bridging the gap between the organization that I work for and the suppliers. It was a nice project. So what are the outcomes and lessons learned on this case study, this WMS project? Talking about it only at the discovery stage, right? In the end, we recommended replacing the system with that off-the-shelf solution because it offered the best balance between cost and functionality, right? So the project, it taught me the importance of a structured approach, especially in a waterfall environment, right? Where upfront planning is key. There's so much things that go into it. It also reinforced how critical it is to involve stakeholders early on in the process to gather accurate requirements, right? It was really important. But yeah, so those are the 2 key documents that you can produce in the discovery stage: your business case and your RFP, request for proposal documentation. So that's a wrap on this case study. If you have any questions about the process, or you want to share your own experiences about projects that relate to this one, drop them in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, or share this content. You never know who it might help. I know there are so many aspiring business analysts there who would like to know the real life, what we do, how we do it. So I really, really hope this has helped. I really enjoyed sharing that with you guys. But yeah, don't forget also hit the notification bell so that you're updated when I upload videos. Till I see you in my next one. Peace.